to another live session with Firdaus on the Paintology drawing app from the Google Play Store. The app where you can learn rapidly drawing skills that are not often shown in the digital medium. And Paintology has been developed from the ground up to improve your appreciation of art and drawing skills, the fundamental core skills in art, which I typically use in order to make drawings, and hence my drawings in the digital medium is cannot be distinguished from traditional mediums. And the result of that is because I stick to simple tools, just like the traditional medium, and I focus more on the drawing and the art techniques. So today we're going to continue with a drawing in black and white we did of an elephant. Let me just show you. Save that. So if I go to my paintings, just keep in mind that I have it in landscape mode because YouTube just got back to me recently saying the portrait may be fixed by doing something with my phone. So if you're having the same issue, you can put it in the comment section and I'll be happy to provide you with feedback with what I know. So let's look at what we did earlier. So here's the elephant drawing I did on this phone. So typically, as you know, I'm just going to quickly go through the little bits here. So it's a bit of a shame. I have to go through this all the time. Okay, yeah. So this is typically the way I draw. If you're new to the channel, I use my phone and my finger, but on this occasion I'm using a stylus. You can get a cheap stylus, from Amazon or eBay, very cheap. You don't need to look at something expensive or anything like that. It's not tools. There's too much emphasis on tools nowadays, especially in the digital medium, and I will explain as I kind of carry on with the drawing. So you've got to have the Paintology app installed from the Google Play Store, and there are links in the description so that you'll find. And the other thing I wanted to mention to you, if you're new and you're keen to learn art in the digital medium, is to go to this Google Classroom. So again, link in the description, and here you will find plenty of exercises that are designed to make you improve your art, strokes, tones, understanding of tones, development of shapes, volume, and all the fundamental core skills in art. And unfortunately, that has been a little taken the back seat due to the developers of apps just pushing one tool after another. So you'll find many digital artists just become so heavily reliant on the tools, and therefore they lose out on the ability of what they can do using core skill sets and techniques. So you can see that this art, it reminds me of a charcoal drawing of an elephant because I love drawing animals, wildlife, and it was requested by YouTuber, not a YouTuber, sorry, a subscriber who actually said that they like elephants. So I thought I would draw this. So this was in one of the live sessions, which you can check out, and it was done with in the grayscale mode using one brush, the line brush. So you can see how I created textures very easily. So it's the trick with drawing art in this manner is to fool the eye. It's been done in traditionally for centuries. If you go to a gallery, you'll see that the bigger paintings from a distance and then you get close enough, it's a mishmash. Just a mishmash of stuff. Look at that. I mean, when you look at this, you wouldn't think that's the hind leg of the elephant, is it? Just wouldn't, would you? So that's how you do it. It's the tricking the eye through your techniques, art techniques, and the way I approach drawing is very different to other apps. So if you're seeking tools to do the blending, and the blending was done by hand, if you're seeking tools to do all the things that you're familiar with, then you're stuck with the tools you got. You're very much a tool type person. You're not developing the important set of skills, which are art skills. So that's one I did yesterday. And let me go to another one that I did. It was on the other channel. There you was there. So this was the bear I did, and I finished it almost 2/3 of the way through, and then I took the time to finish the fur. This fur was quite an interesting approach I used. Look at these lines. They're all similar, isn't it? Can you check that? See? But then it gives the illusion of furs, right? That's what techniques are. Techniques are not 2D thinking of just tools are going to bring out the effects. A brush with the fur is going to bring up. Trust me, if you use that, you're confining yourself to something that's going to look digital anyway. But with this, you wouldn't be able to tell whether it was digital or done by any other art medium. So that's the whole idea of Paintology, is to teach you in the core skills and art fundamentals, which you can apply to all art mediums. Just keep that in mind. So if you go to any online courses on digital, people have wear different hats when it comes to digital and when it comes to traditional. But in the purest sense, digital art should be in the same genre, same mindset as any other art medium like watercolor, acrylics, oils, pastels, graphite, charcoal, you name it. So it should be, and that's how I look at it. I don't know, and many others do not, because they started out using tools, didn't develop the techniques, bypassed blending by using a blending tool, bypassed the doing the brush strokes by using fill tools, bypassed many of the art techniques that you need to develop in order to draw like this. So this is what I'm showing you, and to draw in a phone like this, which most digital artists say is a bit of a joke, you can see it's no joke at all. You can use your phone, your finger, and make fantastic drawings, and I enjoy the whole experience. And just to let you know that I'm extremely familiar, I'm an advanced user of Photoshop and GIMP and CorelDRAW, but I would never use those mediums to do digital drawing. This is, to me, is drawing, the essence of drawing, and this is what I want to show you. So let's head back to the drawing we're going to do, the trace drawing, this one. And this one is going to be in color. I'm not going to take it black and white, and you can. And I encourage you to, if you do a lot of drawings, to use black and white, so you can see the tone variations are easier to comprehend in black and white, because you got the silhouette of the elephant, and then the dust around that elephant, and then the foreground and the pale shades of grey that go off into the far distance, giving it this photographic three-dimensional look, right? So that's really what the grayscale is, and it's been designed for that purpose. And tones, you probably heard in any art media, any drawing class you go, the first thing they're going to mention is tones and the tones they get from shading with the pencil. And now that you have the phone, you have a higher degree of control over the tones, and hence you can make very good drawings on a small phone like this. And I'm sure everyone's got phones that are like 6 inch or five, just under 6 inch. And I made some photorealistic drawings, in fact, with that small screen. And the reason why the small screen is not a limitation is because of this. Look how close we got to that elephant. You see that? That you cannot do in the real traditional sense. This is only possible through digital medium, and that you can take full advantage. You can rotate and make it comfortable the way you draw, and then zoom back, click on the zoom again, and you're back to where you started. So what's the first thing we're going to do? I'm going to stick with the line brush because I prefer to teach you guys with simplicity in mind. I'm, and you'll notice that when I do the drawing, I just stick to that line brush, and then what I'll do is for blending, here's the charcoal. I was doing another drawing, so I'm going to go back to line brush, and you'll see that density setting is the one that creates the opacity this of the brush, which allows you to do blending. And I'm going to show you that more in this drawing. But before we do this drawing, you should always observe what are you trying to do? What's your achievement? What's your aim? The problem with beginners is that a majority of them will give up in the first drawing phase, drawing pass, which I call, which is basically take the tool, do something quickly, and they call it a day. And the reason they call it a day is because they think somehow their magical skills should take them to where all these good artists takes them to, and they're not. They are unfortunately not seeing the next step in the drawing, and the step after that, and the step after that, in order to make the complete drawing, which involves art techniques. Nothing to do with them. I'm going to tell you right now, nothing to do with born skills or anything like that. This is an art development technique. And let me tell you something. It's got to be a skill because I wasn't born with the phone, was I? And yet I can do drawings on the phone better than most other people. And why is that? Because I've developed techniques, I've learned the skills, because I happen to develop the Paintology app for the purpose of drawing. I can therefore enhance the techniques. I wasn't born with it. I actually started Paintology like 5 years ago and have been drawing digitally and developing and enhancing the app for the purpose of showing you these techniques. And these are core techniques which a majority of digital artists will not have come across because they're too busy picking the Wacom tablets, Cook to Photoshop, and all that. It's perfectly fine. Don't get me wrong. I use it all the time for image manipulation and cropping and logo design, web graphics, you name it, illustrations. But I would never use it for the purpose of freehand drawing, which is what I do. And when I'm in the drawing mode, that's what I would like to draw. And I'm sure a majority of you are in that category. So let's look at this drawing and say what I've said. The silhouette, the foreground, and the pale colors of the yellow going back. And these are tones that adds volume to this and shape to this drawing. And I've had to recently also, I have a Quora platform, and recently I've had to convince some of the old traditional art thinkers who thinks digital is some kind of a fake art that doesn't come from the soul, and they just have to check out my drawings and say that when I'm using one brush and doing it in the same way as traditional, how is that different and how is that soulless compared to doing it in traditional? It's just people who like to feel that they are knowledgeable, but in reality they're not. And majority will make comments, but they've never practiced. So when you make a comment, be sure that you have the expertise, knowledge, and the practice behind it before you make you know, these sort of comments that are very dismissive. As like one person would say, who came back to me after she saw my drawings and said, "Wow, didn't want to be dismissive, but you've changed my thinking about art, digital art." Anyway, so enough of that, and let's get on with it. So if you know that the first thing I do is I pick a large brush in order to do the block coloring. And to do that, you keep your top half of the cursor position in the top half and then select the color picker. This is your canvas. So anything you pick while this cursor position here will pick the colors of your canvas. Anything above that will pick the colors of of the reference image, the color picker. So let me show you there. That's the color of the canvas. So we're going to go and just use the color picker again and again and just go across the screen, picking those tonal variations, what I can see, and then right, just picking those tonal variations and just laying down the building blocks of the main colors. So you can do the same, no drawing experience required. You're basically following the tone shape, nothing difficult about that. And the whole purpose of doing it this way is to teach you and to train your mind into tones and the way tones change, okay? Very important. Tones are everything in drawings. If you mastered tones, you could make photorealistic drawings. Well, what happened? Okay, got that. That was really odd. I don't know what happened. Maybe I didn't pick the colors. So again, the colors there. So this is the color. Notice I'm not worried about the tree yet. There, there. So I'm going to keep teaching you these techniques until you've somehow seen how techniques evolve following this main process of block coloring. There. I'm always picking the color picker because I know these tones may look to you like to be similar, but they in reality change. I'm sort of skipping much of the body of the elephant because that's where it's going to get black, isn't it? There's no point going behind it like the tree. Okay, just doing that. And you can see that this I picked the black color of the elephants, obviously. Oh, I know what happened. When I go to the edge, because I've actually added a white border on this drawing. Now I know what happened there. So white edge around this drawing. So if I pick that, it'll pick the white. Let's see. All right. So I have to go somewhere in the middle. And it's good to know these. So this is what I'm doing. Just laying down the first foundation of colors. Very easy. You can see how the tonal shift in the colors change. Okay. I'm going to show you how to observe, oops, how to observe the drawing in more detail in ways that you haven't observed before, perhaps. Okay, so now starting off with this foreground color, which is a bit darker. You can see here I'm not just color picker, then put down the colors, okay? Color picker, put down the colors. Let's do that again. There, 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 and there. Because you can see streaks of tones that are going on at this. And then I'm not copying everything exactly. They're just block coloring. This is exactly how artists would paint, start off a painting. If you have not seen, if you've seen many of the YouTube, they put a crude layer of paint down and then they just keep painting. Isn't that the reason why they love to post things of their art is because the pleasure of drawing in this way far outpaces drawing digitally using tools, in my opinion. Because have I gone into the tools? No, I'm not. You see this. I'm just continuing to keep my focus on the drawing canvas. Because that's where all the action is, isn't it? On the drawing canvas. It's not the tools that are going to make you a great artist, is it? There, look. Look at that, how we've put that down so quickly. And then with the elephant, very easy. We just go here, then just follow, put the focus, right, just, and then use the color tones in case the body shifts in slight tones. Why not? Yeah, yeah, I'm not going through the trunk because it's obviously too big for my brush. So there you are. It looks like an animal on some plane, the back, right? So let's look at it. We're 15%. That's a good size. Now if you click on this button and have the slide, you can flick between back and forth, right? So let me show you what I mean. This button there, right? You just keep flicking. It will flick from your drawing to your canvas, yeah. So then that's actually a great technique, great way to check your reference image and focus on your drawing and transfer some of those tones to your drawing. That's really a key. I don't believe anyone teaches this method of painting and drawing. And this method of painting and drawing will rapidly increase your ability in drawing. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I forgot to mention something. If you want to follow along to this drawing, go to paintology.com and click on where it says live stream, just a third of the way down below the YouTube, below the video, and you'll come to a page where it will tell you where the reference image is. So you can download that reference image from there if you want to paint along with me. And I haven't done any two-way communication, which I will do in time. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to develop to see if there's enough interest in the live stream, and so I can get enough positive feedback to continue this live stream sessions. So there. So what we have here is okay. So we're gonna go my drawing, and then this. So what you now the next step is what's the next technique? If you're tools driven, you'll probably have some ideas how what the next step is, but you don't want to be tools driven. You want to be driven by what is the best step for this drawing in order to make it look as natural as possible. Yeah. So my thinking is I'm going to try and blend the background and then bring the foreground. That's usually what artists do. They work from the background and then they come to the foreground with more harsher tones. When I say harsher tones, you can see in this drawing there's a pale, and the trees have gone and diffused in the background, giving a sense of expanse of space, from the back. And that's what we want to capture in our drawing. So, first of all, I'm going to tackle the sky. The sky is actually diffused and different to the land that's at the back, which is slightly more denser in tone. I can see here. I'm going to show you. What I mean is this part here. This is the horizon, right? So the sky is all that above there, okay? And that's what we're going to work on. All right, how do we do again that? What do we do to get that? Well, it's very easy. This is where the density comes in. And we're going to go to hours, and then we're going to use this button and flick back and forth. You can see, now I can teach you a bit more few things on technique, is that these streaks that you see here on the top here are actually very thin. And then you can see there's a darker black patch, darker brown, that transitions to this orangey brown region around here, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is bring some of that black, darker brown, and then take our brush down and then take our brush density to 30%, so 11, 30%, and then click on the brown of and then just do our first blending. So we want to capture some of that first light dark brown, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So now we can see we've got some of that good brown there that's going on. And what do we want to do? We want to melt this blend these lines into to give it some tone, to give it blending. That's what we're doing, blending. So we go to my drawing and then we go pick the tone, the darker tone, and now we need to take it all the way down, really down, and then I'm going to show you how this will blend. Look, strokes, just in it, just going to see that's gone practically, and then we're going to pick that color here and then just blend it to that brownish, right? So look there, see that? There. And then we're going to pick this color here. It's almost like magic, isn't it? And then just blend that to that tone that's at the bottom, yeah, the next one down. Okay, look at that. Easy, isn't it? See that? You almost think it's magic, isn't it? And then let's go here and see that tone comes all the way here. We won't bother with this. We'll pick this tone and expand that across the horizon, and then increase if you have to. Okay. and then take it down even more if you feel that's giving you a transitionary line. Yeah, that's it there. And then we're just focused on this side at the moment, and that's that tree there that we can see here. But we're not interested in that tree. We're just going to make sure we blend the sky. And then can you see that there's a nice little mountain type scene here, of that here, over here, right? Mountain here, okay? Because I'm actually using a very low tone. Okay, so how are we going to capture that? Well, have we got the yellow that we want? I think so. So let's see if we can capture some of that yellow tones that to match what we see in the picture, because the more you capture what's in the image, the more natural your drawing will appear. Okay, there. Look at that. That's like a ripple there, right? We don't have to work, we can go into details and work on that, but I want to capture this bit here, this mountainous region here, okay? So let's increase the density and see if we can capture that. And if it's not coming out, with the density settings you have, then just increase it. There. Just increase the density. My daughter told me to change the, so here we've got a really high density. In fact, what we could have done and better would be to, because we can't capture that quite easily with that high density, I'm going to lower it, and then I'm going to capture this. This is the brush. This is the tone that I'm having difficulty capturing, right? This tone, because as you can see, I was trying to do that. And then if it's not working, just click on the top right and get it more. Yes. There, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yes, that's looking more like it. So get down there. There. That's it. Beautiful tones. There. It's not quite the same color, but it's still, nevertheless, the illusion of a backdrop here. And then if you're not getting the white, yellow, yeah, that's the yellow, it's too much, so I've got to take that down. Right there, yellow. There. Okay. So now let's continue and zoom out and just continue doing there. Can you see there's a brown patch? Continue doing the blending that we were doing earlier. So again, if you're not getting the effect that you're looking for, just increase the density, okay? And then if it's too harsh, too quickly, then just play with the density settings, right? There, that's that black streak that I want to capture. Okay, then we don't want to see how we're gonna blend this. So easy. There, then It's not getting it quick enough. Just there. That's how you blend. And to be honest with you, I can't see any blending tool that can bring out this effect at all. It's just literally impossible there. Look at that. Beautiful colors. And then we're going to show you how to bring that down. You've got to enjoy colors if you like drawing, isn't it? You just have to. Right? You have to love colors. And then bring that orange haze. Look how it's doing that. There. Look at that. Just a beautiful sky, isn't it? Looks like I pulled it off there, isn't it? And then that has to be smoothed out. Okay, there. Almost like magic, isn't it? Look at that, the way it's working. And then we can pick the Jason if it's like too much. Yeah. Then what have we got here? It's just plain a lot of this color, but so we can pick this color, just bring it down here. Right. And then here we've got, we've got a bit of a larger region. So you play with this. Yeah, I'm going to take that yellow into that darker color. Just, let's see what we have here. Look at that. That sky is almost looking like a sky, isn't it? And then we see that blue there, here, that blue. We can pick the color picker and stretch it like as though it's part of the backdrop here. Right, and then even take it up there. Why not? If the drawing is under our control, then just diffuse that. Look at that. It's too harsh. So when it gets too harsh, just lower that all the way. Okay, that's it. There. There. So what? Let's blend this part here. Look at that. We got that. This is a very distinct. So we won't touch that. And then we got this blue. This blue that comes down here like a mountain, and then this streak here, just yellow. So basically it is the sky. So I'm picking that color and just giving it like, to increase the density. Just techniques, just giving that, diffusing that out. Right there, because that's the sky, right? We can't have anything that's like very harsh like that, is it? So that's all we're doing. And then this is the horizon. Can you see it? That's the horizon. And that's the tree line there. It's a tree line, yeah. So just blend this. Okay, there. So what do we got here? And then we have here, that's also the ground. So we can't touch that yet. And then we'll bring out more detail. But let's see if we've corrected the sky. I think we have. I think we can get away with the sky. And what's the next thing we want to do? Well, we can tackle, let's save this. Excuse me for us 1 second. Hello, sorry, just had a quick break, and so let's look at this. So let's carry on with this and see what we have. Our drawing. That so right now I can see that this we need to bring those little elements in there, that backdrop with the tree. So we're gonna do that, and to do that it's very easy, and this is where your tones will become really important, but assuming that you've carried the right tone. If not, just to finish off, put this cursor just one up below to your drawing level, and then take the brush down quite a bit, right, and then keep the density high, and then pick the drawing of yours, and then just take away those features that represents the sky and the line of trees at the back. Okay, so just keep selecting the colors that you have done on your canvas. That's why it's at the just below the halfway mark, right? And I'm picking the color picker, so I'm not using the colors because that may have changed through the blending. Okay. And what do we got here? Line of trees there. So just, and then what do we have here? Just capture the shape that, okay? That's all. Capturing the shape. Then you could use this, we could take it down to 19, use this, take the opportunity to use the small brush to do this minute details of that elephant. And where we got here? Okay. So just keep in mind that you're on your drawing canvas and not the. So we're going across that horizon, and then we can pick these colors to bring the forest, the back plane, there, just creating that shape there. And then what do we have here? That's the drawing, that's the pictures. Right. And then what we have here? We have this. Yeah, so now going towards the the actual painting itself, the reference image. And then now I'm going to do the tail. Yeah. So pick your color. Don't forget. If you have, yeah, that lovely tail. Okay, and then I'm going to do that. So, and let's see what we have here. It's interesting, isn't it? We didn't quite pick a black color. So we're going to just continue using the black that we were using before. Down here, and then pick the color while you're that close to the object, just pick the color. And then let's see what we have here. So again, we have a darker tone here. And then just there. Let's have a look to see how much we've achieved in that. Wow, such a big difference, isn't it? Look at that. That is beginning to look like a better than drawing before, right? So look at these colors. So this got this lovely tusks here. And then let's shape this area, which is obviously part of the elephant's features, and I want to get that right. Right, look at that tusks. Let's see what we've got here. If we managed to pull it off. I think we have. Look, looks like an elephant, doesn't it? And then if you look, this under his belly, it's darker than the rest of the area here. So if we pick that, right, that's then under his belly is not so dark. So somehow the elephant has somehow obscured that part, and then therefore his leg looks like a transitionary phase to the next part. So I don't know how that happened, but that's probably because there's smoke or some kind of a dust settling up there, and which is masking some of that shape of the back. But let's see if we've got what we wanted to achieve on the horizon. I think we have, so I'm okay with that. And there is a little bit of a tree line there. Can you see? Tree line here. I'm not gonna tree line here. I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna actually take it out. Not necessary. So that's the beauty of the paint your creativity. So take a good look at your drawing. Excuse me, I'm just gonna feed on something. And take a good look at your on the reference image. So alternate and then see what more you need to do. So now, because we're creating a sense of depth, we need to be aware that tones play a vital part in depth. So this image has hundreds of thousands of tones, and as an artist, we're having to work with the tones we know, and this method helps us to get to fine-tuning our tones, appreciation of tones. And that's why I can do freehand drawing of photorealistic drawings easily on the phone. And freehand case, if you're those of you who have been naysayers. So let's continue using this brush. Let's take the top, it's more darker, and let's just trace outline. Remember, when you're tracing, you are learning. Remember, you're tracing, you're learning. Trust me, you're learning it fast. And all the great artists have used tracing. Seen the tones that change? So I'm just gonna take that tree, because that tree is quite prominent, isn't it? And these tones are actually changing as it goes towards the lower part of the tree. So that's what I'm doing, trying to pick that color picker. And notice that I'm also picking the color picker because the sun may be on the other side or on a different side and giving it less tone. You see that? Right, that's all we're doing. Color tone. So now we've got a reference image there. Right, let's see what we've got here. Wow, we've managed to put that tree down really quickly, haven't we? Now, what do we need to do? Well, we know that these areas play a really interesting role, and you can see that if you go to your drawing, my drawing, to the reference image in my drawing, you'll see that there are tonal shifts from the top, from here to the bottom, right? Tonal shifts. And that's what I'm looking at. So I'm trying to break down how I draw and the techniques so you can learn from me. So I'm going to stick to the darker tones at the top, and I'm just going to go around the top to show there, right, to give that illusion, just that illusion. And here, I think we've managed to pull it off. Right, just diffuse that, and then you can see what a difference it makes. Look, see? That little bit made a whole world of difference. The tonal shifts in the top area. And notice I've got the density quite high up. Right, so that's the perimeter. Right, so go over it again to give the illusion of a perimeter there, yeah? And now you're going to say, well, how are you going to capture this? Well, you got this other region here, the land where the tree grows. Can you see that? That's where we're going to capture that tone. So it's all about understanding. Right, then I got this, the tree that comes here. Then we have some darker tones here. And then it's still, our brush is a little too big, but still we will pull it off. Right? See, now it's got some kind of shape and form, and we'll keep bringing that down to the foreground, yeah? So see the harsh areas here? So what I tend to do as a trick is I tend to and I will adjust the density accordingly, just create the illusion of things at the distance. So here we've got a darker than here. That's why the darker tones, and then just create the illusion of bushes, and just pick these. Remember, I've still got 100%, but I'm going to go over it with a little, but I just want to show you this part of how easy it is to replicate tones easily. And you think it's like, wow, every detail, every follicle of, right, it's not the case. You got to capture every branch. That's not the case, so that's what I'm showing you. Going to the image and then going to the reference image, getting the color pick color, and then just transferring it here, okay? That's all I'm doing. There. Don't go over too much because at the distance it will have this. That's all we're doing. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Look at that. We've almost created an area here that looks like a form of land with such little effort, isn't it? And that looks like the pyramid at the back there, doesn't it? Or the Sphinx. Right? Just carry on up to the trunk of that. Do exactly that, the tones. Just shaping the tones here. And then carry this light tone here, up there. Right, just gonna carry on. And then this darker tone, this is like a layers of land. It's like layers of I'm not able to get all the tones that I like, but still it's working. Well, you can pull it off. Trust me, you'll be able to pull it off there. Just scribble, and then we're going to get the first half done. Just picking the tones. So this is showing you how valuable tones are. And then what about this area here? What's going on here? Some night tones there. Picking out those light tones. And this. Okay. And then some darker tones here. The bushes here. That's a nice warm color. And then we don't want to get too dark there. There's a bit of darkness, but there's also this light patchiness of green. Do you see how it changes the whole balance and tones? You almost feel that you are creating the plantation yourself, right? There, just layers of layers. There, just capture these light tones hitting off the grass. Yeah, we got anything here? That's the area where it's quite smoky. And then, let's see, got some light here. Look at that there. Just laying down. Okay, let's have a look what it looks like. Wow, we've created land, haven't we? So now what we can do is, that's the pass, right? Now what we can do is, excuse me, I'm going to take another spoonful of whatever to keep me nourished. Excuse me. So again here, so let's capture what's going on here. There's quite a bit of activity. So I'm just going to try and, doesn't seem to go. Well, I've still got a fairly large brush. Okay, and then what's going on here? Well, I think I'm gonna take that down and diffuse the situation here, right? I'm gonna say this not much. There really isn't harsh tones going on here. So again, I'm using the brush here. Notice what I'm doing is like I'm rarely defining, using the tools to define what I should do. I'm controlling this myself. And then you can increase if you're not getting it quick enough. Then you can get a different lighter, warmer color if you're not getting that. Okay. Alright, and then you've got this, oops, it's got to be a Alright, so let's see what we have here. I feel like I need to do this. Well, get rid of that white. Okay. Oh wow, it's quite circular, isn't it? So let's take it down and take that brush. It's quite black. Okay, and then here I'm going to just clean it up. Alright, and then let's see what we have. Oh, big improvement, isn't it? Yeah. So we got this far. Now what do we need to do? Well, like I said, there is some dust particles falling here, and look at this. Look at underneath here. It's almost like a window, and then there's that lightness here. So what I'm going to do is, in order to not complicate things, I'm going to carry on with this shading that I was doing, yeah. Okay. Take some of these colors, just don't worry about the elephant here, just match it to what was there already. Give the illusion that, so less complications, you know, you don't want to we need to go where it again. Okay, so that's what we managed to do. Carry that scene, that sort of diffuse scene, and then carry it into that, right? And then increase that. Okay. So less work for ourselves, the better, isn't it? I don't know about you, I'm always for less work in drawing. I can get away with that, I can do more, right? So now I can take it down, then increase that. It's all about techniques. Honestly, it's nothing more, just techniques. What do we got here? Well, we managed to pull it off, isn't it? And then we can say it's like a desert, isn't it? And then we could say, well, actually, we wanna put this guy on this. So let's take this color. I remember it was that we to bring the opposite polar effects. Right. That's it. Pick the colors, just blend it in here. as though it's a continuation of that land patch. So it looks like a desert, right? And then we can put land on this as though it's standing on a ridge. Why not, isn't it? Okay. And then we can retouch it. So this is our drawing here. So now, as we come to the foreground, let's save this. Excuse me for a second. I'll take another spoonful. So now we have these interesting features. How are we going to do that? I'm thinking that we can, let's start off with 50% density and then pick colors. No, that's a bit too big. Continue to pick colors. So I'm just focusing on this. And then I want to see what that comes up. Pick some of the colors that's already in the reference image. And then just bring it along. I'm not even looking at my own drawing. I just want to see. Remember, I'm just creating the illusion. And the eyes will do all the work. Have we created anything like that? Not quite. So what we're going to do is use our method here, alternate, and then we're going to pick colors, alternate, pick the color, and then apply it. And then pick another color, apply it. Right? And then pick another color pick, apply it. Doesn't matter what color it is. Creating the illusion of something there. And if it's not working, we change the density setting, okay? Take out some of the harshness and then pick this color. It's like an orange color. So this looks like a marsh. And then I can see that I need to increase the density. Okay. And then pick another color here. Then just give the illusion. And you'll see that that has an effect on what's being shown. Right, okay. And then if you look, it gives the, like there is land there, isn't it? Just almost like there is something going on, but we don't know what that is. Let's pick that. It's a black patch there. And I've got the density at 75%. It's a safe bet, no? Because of the dark area, we can get away with this really frivolous approach to doing this, right? Just pulling it off. It's all about imagery and how the imagery works and techniques. Right? You can do it however you want. Doesn't have to be the way I'm doing it. There, look at that. There. Just getting this. Look at that. This is the color that we picked. We're still at a large brush size, and here we can see what's happening here 3.35%. Right, that's where we are. Right, and then here, there, the same thing. Then we pick another color, giving the illusion. If you haven't picked the other color, just go back again, pick another color. This to me is a little too harsh. I want to soften it with the density. That's just the way I picked the color. Remember, each color has its own properties, and it will operate differently depending on. Right, let's have a look. Wow, we've created land, haven't we? How wonderful is that? And then we can go really quickly, no detail at all. Right there. I've still got the 75% and 50% density, okay? What do we see here? We see some grassland, right? Okay, random, totally random. Just don't fill it up too quickly. Just try and follow the shape. Right, keeping this. Look, one brush color can do a lot. Right, this is it. That's the beauty of nature, is that it can depict nature so easily, so little effort. Oh, look at that. Wow, look at that, how quickly we've done that. So I think we probably finished this almost. Now I can see some areas here. See that? There. Some like a bushes. And try and do the bushes in a round shape. Right, no pressure. And then what's going on here? Well, I don't know. I feel like I have to do something, but not too much. Right there. Here. And then I think we needed to, yes, there, can you see it? Well, we got that, so we need to take that down, up, get that black color, and get this orange color. That's, ooh, it's too harsh. So what we're gonna do is take it down and then just work it way softly to that edge, right? And then this area looks like could do with some kind of a vegetation. I don't know. Just give the illusion that it's not sitting on a blooming pedestal, right? Or a stool. Right there. Let's see if we manage to pull that up. Pretty amazing, isn't it? So what can we do? Can we do anything else at the back? So we could just add more to it. My eyes tells me that I could take some of that, some of this here, and then just work it where add a little bit of darkness here. Okay, and then even at a distance you'll see darkness. So don't be afraid to add this. Right here, you see? Makes a difference, doesn't it? Then keep adding a little bit more darkness, giving it shape. And then even the tree, right, gives darkness. I got that dark shade, giving it some life into it, isn't it? We're throwing a life. But don't do it too much, otherwise it will appear too close like it did just now. So I'm going to take that and then just remove it. Otherwise it will feel that it's come forward. See how quickly we made that tree recede in the far distance, which is what we want, right? And then we can add this, the lower setting, like something hanging at the back there. There, let's have a look. It's definitely come a little tiny closer, but that's no problem. Maybe the tree needs some shade, isn't it, from the sun? But there we have it. It's so simple. Can you see how easy that was? And you could do the same. Finished in what? Less than just over an hour. So let's actually just take that. Oops, too harsh. So let's take this color. Let's take this color. All right, there you are. Paintology. Okay, so we have this, and then we're happy, I think. So I hope you've learned something from this. Actually, I'm looking at my TV screen showing big elephants. It means that I'm on the right path here, perhaps, if you believe in karma or whatever. But is the big elephant that's right in front of me on this my TV screen. Anyway, so elephants are really gorgeous creatures, and I'm drawing something like this, very little effort, makes it look photorealistic, such little effort, and that's how you can make good drawings on the phone if you understand the technique. So I hope you enjoyed this drawing session, and let me know your feedback, and also please post on community or provide some comments if you've given it a try. And you should. I mean, if you want to learn art, you pick up pencil and paper. This is no different to picking up a pencil and paper, is it? The way I've drawn, you've seen it for yourself. So please subscribe, and so I can continue to bring you these live tutorials, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.